Is your packaging resonating with your audience? Or worse yet, is it actually losing you sales? How do you even know? Daniela here with another PickFu tutorial, and the reason why packaging is so important is because the right packaging can draw attention to your product over other products, which is perfect on Amazon. It can reflect quality and perceived value of your product, and it's also the informative piece that helps you sell more of your product without you actually having to physically be there. So packaging can make a huge difference, but in the past, in order to get those insights about your audience, what a lot of brands did is they sent off hundreds of units to focus groups in order to get the feedback and make the changes that they needed to make sure that their packaging was on point. But now with PickFu, you can actually get the data that you need in less than 30 minutes, and I'm gonna show you how to do just that, so stay tuned.
All right, so there's two ways that we're gonna walk through today to show you how to start this iteration process with your packaging. The first is a simple split test of your actual label, and let's say you have two completely different variations. In this example, we didn't have two different variations from the client, so all we did was just add an element to one just to see which image people prefer and start to get some sort of feedback back, okay? So what did we notice in terms of the language that was being used? On the left, people said they actually like the green, that it helps it stand out, that it gives it a pop of color. But on the right, what people were saying was they were confused and they felt that it was a bit deceptive to use the green aloe because there's no mention of the word aloe on the front of this packaging. So we know that trust is a big issue for parents, and we know that they want safety for their kids. And this is all gonna be echoed in this language. So the number one thing I'm doing in this first set of feedback is just trying to identify what patterns are we seeing in the language that people are using to help us pinpoint different things that we could tweak with our design. So the aloe was not mentioned on the front. That was a big thing. So we took that and we actually made a new iteration of this product. And now we're running our second split test. And I'm gonna show you this now. You can see we made some edits based on the first set of feedback to show that aloe is the number one ingredient on the packaging. And this is the kind of stuff that you don't actually even need to go to print for. You can work with your designer to incorporate the feedback immediately and then run your second test. So on this test, we're trying to get even more insights about how our packaging stacks up against other products in our competitive set. And what I mean by competitive set is I'm not picking the Jessica Alba brands of the world. I'm not picking these big well-known brands. I'm picking brands that are newcomers to this category so that we can get an idea of what parents care about. The second thing I did was I actually added some targeting to target parents who have 1, 2, or 3 children. And this is what's so great about PickFu is that you can get this exact information from parents who might be buying this product. The other reason why I chose these products is because they sell in 2-packs, and this client intends to sell in a 2-pack. On the left, you can see that this packaging, it looks like it's more oriented towards baby, and in fact, it has the word baby on the bottle. And this is something that was mentioned multiple times in the language. They like the word organic on the packaging, and you can see it's mentioned twice. They like the word baby on the bottle, and they like that it's made in the USA. And the final point that they made over and over again was they love that it's award-winning. This actual piece here, I think is against terms of service on Amazon. You can probably get away with it on your own website, but you can probably get away with it a little bit on Amazon as well, or you could probably add it to the top of the packaging and nobody would actually know that it's not part of the packaging. So that's just a quick little workaround. The other thing that we noticed on this one was that people love the bright colors. They loved the word no. No in their minds was all you needed to say on this bottle. They didn't actually even need to read the rest of this. The word no to them meant safety, it meant trust, it meant that they were selling a quality product without a bunch of gunk in it. So that was super important to these parents who chose this one. And ultimately it was the vibrancy and the colors that helped it stand out. And the final piece that they mentioned was the pump at the top. Now, I know this brand personally, and what people said about this brand here was that it looks a little more retro. So those are easy design changes that we can fix. The claims that were made on these products, maybe we can't say that it's organic if it's not organic, but we can definitely say that it doesn't have a bunch of gunk in it because it doesn't. This actually does have the option to come with a pump, so we could easily add that to the design. And you can see that there's a lot of work we can do on the vibrancy aspect. So those are quick wins from 30 minutes of feedback and probably less than $100 or a few $100s of testing on PickFu from these different iterations. Now what you could do do is take all that feedback, go back to your designer, come up with maybe 3 more options of packaging and mock-ups, and then run tests again against maybe this fresh Monster brand since it's the winner, and keep running it until you get a winner. And then you know that you actually have a winning product because parents are telling you that they trust your brand and that they would buy your product over the other ones.
There you have it. That is how simple, cost-effective, and fast it is to use a site like PickFu to get your data, iterate on your packaging, and make sure that you're improving your sales over time, because your packaging should be an iterative process anyways. But let's take it a step further. If you're wondering whether you have the budget for something like this, I already showed you how a test like this can be less than $100, but let's say you're a small brand and you're wondering whether this is cost effective for you. So if you're selling, let's say 1,000 units a month, and you bring in $10 of profit per product per month, if you were to make a 5% increase on your conversion just by improving your packaging, you'd be looking at an extra $6,000 a year. So there you have it. That is how you can see whether you can afford to do a test like this. And I actually encourage you to set aside a budget and be iterating over time and actually running a series of these tests to see if you can keep improving, because those little improvements can make a big impact to your bottom line. So go ahead, try it out. If you want to submit your own product so we can test and give you some insights, I'm going to be picking one lucky person. So I'll put the link down below, and I hope to give you those insights soon. So take care.